Well, we're going to start. Good morning and welcome to this 15th International Conference on Religion and Spirituality in Society. We're going to do this presentation in both English and Spanish. And well, first of all, I'd like to introduce the members of this board this morning, of this panel this morning. And I'd like to introduce our colleague and host, Alessandro Saggioro, who is the head of the department here at the University of Sapienza di Roma. Thank you so much for hosting us today, and he's going to give us some words. So, hemos dado la bienvenida, vamos a hacer las presentaciones, haremos en español y en inglés, siempre que podamos y siempre que para facilitar la comprensión. Y a continuación presento a los miembros. El primer miembro de esta mesa que va a hablar a continuación será el profesor Alessandro Saggioro, que es el jefe del departamento en esta Universidad de Sapienza de Roma, que nos alberga en esta 15ª Conferencia Internacional sobre Religión y Espiritualidad en la Sociedad. Please. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. Oh, that's, who has that?
Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to welcome you here in Sapienza University. I'm the head of the department of History, Anthropology, Religions, History of Arts and Performing Arts. And I'm very happy to welcome this conference, este congreso. Yo no puedo hablar en español, pero entiendo que los lenguajes son dos. I will speak in English. Maybe it's better. For sure it's better. Anyway, when we received the invitation by your association, Religion and Society, to organize and to host this conference in our university and in our department, we consider the topic of spirituality as a very difficult topic for nowadays. When I quoted religion in the name of the department, I need to say that this is to represent the history of religions with an historical approach and with concrete reference to sources and historical facts. Therefore, the topic of spirituality would have been a difficult topic. I remember my master, Professor Dario Sabatucci, quoting spirituality during the lessons as something that it does not exist for the historian, because it's something that cannot be registered through the sources, through the records, and with the great difficult to be understood from an historical point of view. I understand that interdisciplinarity, interaction between sociology of religions, anthropology, intercultural law, and of course also history of religions can help approaching this topic and help us also developing new line of new possibilities of research and of understanding of the religious milieu. The other question that we had straight in mind was that we are realizing in our department a big project related to vulnerability, and the organizers welcomed and accepted the idea to discuss and reflect about this topic, vulnerability. I don't need to take too much time to say that our time is a very vulnerable one, but what I want to say is that also the word fragility, that is in fragile meanings, it's typically something that we experience every day and that we notice on a global view, but also on a local view, considering the individual situation of people single people around the world or considering more general approaches. Therefore, the idea to connect vulnerability to spirituality and to understanding of religions was accepted as a general idea that we were able to welcome, and therefore I thank you a lot for your participation, for the travels we have done to come to Rome and to spend your time with us. Last but not least, I take another minute. I want to stress also a relevant project that we are realizing in Sapienza University with a network of universities from the entire country. That is a national PhD that is national in the name but aims to become international. It's a national PhD dedicated to peace studies. Many of the PhD students are present and are cooperating to the organization, will present part of their research, but my goal is to say to all of you that this new institution is something that we are experiencing. The department is doing a great work to organize it and to have 46 PhD candidates during this first year. We will have a similar number next year. That means we are trying to reflect about peace studies from a scientific point of view, and of course vulnerability, fragility, and also the different field of studies that you represent here can help a lot in this. What I do really believe is that doing research means to explore ways to build a better society, better relations between individuals, better relations between people, and better relations between states. The situation of the world is not quiet at all. It's the best way that I can find to define the disaster that we are seeing all over the world. I don't stress only the 2-3 words that we see every day in the newspapers, but I want to remember also the forgotten words that are not in the newspaper, that are not represented in the media, and also the difficult situations of the migrants in the Mediterranean, the migrants in other parts of the world. That means in different situations, not only vulnerability, but also tragical situation of violence of people against other people. To conclude, welcome in our department. I wish you all to spend 2 days here reflecting. I hope also, considering this fact that we have the luck to be here and to reflect about our studies and research, and we have the possibility to interact with other scholars, but also the situation of the world is not only fragile, but is the entire system, the global system, is under attack. Not only the multilateralism, but also the idea of peaceful coexistence that was part of the last century, granted by international institutions, but also granted by a common culture of mutual understanding. We are facing a situation in which this seems to be past, but we need to work together in order to rebuild the value of common understanding and mutual interaction and help and enhancement of good and positive, respectful relations. I also need to thank the organizers for their great job, for choosing Sapienza University for this huge conference, and so welcome to all of you, but welcome to you, and thank you for the work you have done. It's also my duty to thank Alessandra Vitullo that is here, because she did the greatest, the greatest is not correct, she did all the work for me and for the department, assuming the entire responsibility, together with some PhD students that will work, and also I want to stress that the administrative people of the department gave a lot of work to her. So thanks to Alessandra Vitullo on behalf of the department and on behalf of all of us, and also Tatiana was the connection person, that for sure you will do your duty in saying all the other people that worked at this conference, but from the part of Sapienza, Alessandra was and is the front person, so thanks to Alessandra.
Okay, so now we have the introduction for Alessandra. She's going to, Alessandra Vitullo, researcher and lecturer from the Sapienza University of Rome. Thanks again to our colleague Alessandro Saggioro for hosting us here and for those beautiful words. And now, if you're so kind, Alessandra.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Professor Saggioro said a lot, so there is nothing more to say, but I want to just start in English and then translate my part in Spanish. I tried. I've done my homework. So first of all, I want to express my gratitude to Professor Ortega and Roger Castillo for identifying over a year ago Sapienza University and in particular our department as an ideal setting to host this conference. This choice is especially meaningful for us if we consider that in the very name of our department, SARAS, that translated in Italian means History, Anthropology, Religions, Arts, and Performing Arts, religions stands out as a central element of our research and teaching commitment. The study of religions here has always been pursued through an interdisciplinary and diachronic lens. For instance, the very first chair of history of religion in Italy was established here in this department at Sapienza, and we have just celebrated the 100th anniversary of its foundation last year. Today, we aim to bring the field of religion into dialogue with another topic that is crucial for the research mission of our department and that actually reflect the broader challenges of our time, vulnerability. Professor Saggioro already stressed a lot in his remark what means for us studying vulnerability. So now, from my side, I would simply like to thank everyone who contributed to making this today possible. My sincere gratitude goes to our keynote speakers and their moderator, Professor Alberto Camplani, Stefania Palmisano, and Raquel Weiss, and to Sergio Botta, Giulia Volvi, and Margherita Picchi. Their insight will show how vulnerability has always been a structural and functional dimension of religious tradition. I'm grateful to the students and the PhD candidates who have generously offered their time and energy to support this event. Many of them are also devoting research precisely to the topic of vulnerability, as Professor Saggioro said, and hopefully contributing to a future world maybe less fragile than one we are currently navigating in. Of course, I'm grateful to all of you for participating in this conference. The diversity of approaches and disciplines already visible in the title of your panels and presentation promises to inspire and enrich these 2 days of dialogue, strengthening the scientific dimension on our research community. And last, but certainly not least, I extend my special thanks to Professor Tatiana Portnova, that maybe is not here, but is on the desk at the entrance, coordinator of the Common Ground Research Network, who made this conference possible. Thanks to her invaluable work, I myself felt less vulnerable during this year of conference preparation. So, thanks again, everybody. I wish you all 2 inspiring days of dialogue and exchange, which I hope will reach not just our scientific expertise, but also our sense of international community, which unfortunately seems to be increasingly vulnerable if we look at today's political scenario. Thank you, and now I go for the Spanish one.
Good, please.
I try. So, buenos días a todas y a todos. Quiero expresar mi gratitud a los profesores Ortega Martín y Roger Castillo por haber identificado hace ya más de un año a la Universidad Sapienza e en particular a nuestro departamento como el lugar ideal para hospedar esta conferencia. Esta elección tiene un significado especial para nosotros si consideramos que propio en el nombre de nuestro departamento, SARAS, que significa Historia, Antropología, Religión, Arte y Artes Escénicas, la religión se destaca como un elemento central, tanto en nuestra labor de investigación como en nuestro compromiso docente. El estudio de las religiones aquí siempre se ha llevado adelante desde una perspectiva interdisciplinaria y diacrónica. De hecho, la primera cátedra de Historia de las Religiones en Italia se fue establecida precisamente en la Sapienza y recientemente acabamos de celebrar su centenario. Lo que hoy intentamos es establecer un diálogo entre el campo de los estudios religiosos y la vulnerabilidad, entendiendo a esta última como un aspecto crucial, tanto para la agenda de investigación de nuestro departamento, como así también para los desafíos más amplios de nuestro tiempo. Esta conexión está ya profundizada al profesor Saggioro en su intervención, por eso, de mi parte, por el momento, me limito solo a agradecer a todas las personas que han contribuido a hacer posible estos días. Mi sincero agradecimiento a nuestros ponentes principales, los profesores Alberto Camplani, Stefania Palmisano, Raquel Weiss y a sus moderadores, Sergio Botta, Giulia Volve y Margherita Picchi. Sus reflexiones mostrarán claramente cómo la vulnerabilidad ha sido siempre una dimensión estructural y funcional de la tradición religiosa. Agradezco también a los estudiantes y doctorandos que han ofrecido generosamente su tiempo y energía facilitando la organización de este evento. Algunos de ellos están dedicando sus investigaciones precisamente al tema de la vulnerabilidad y quizá de esta manera están también contribuyendo a construir un mundo menos frágil que en el estamos navegando ahora. Por supuesto, agradezco a todos ustedes por participar en esta conferencia. La diversidad de enfoques y disciplinas que ya se percibe por los títulos de sus presentaciones promete inspirar e enriquecer estos 2 días de diálogo, fortaleciendo el tejido científico de nuestra comunidad académica. Por último, pero no menos importante, deseo expresar mi especial agradecimiento a la profesora Tatiana Portnova, coordinadora de las redes de investigación de Common Ground Research Network, que hizo posible concretamente la organización de esta conferencia. Gracias a su valioso trabajo de coordinación, yo misma me he sentido menos vulnerable durante este año de preparación. Una vez más, le agradezco a todos y todas y le deseo 2 días intensos, inspiradores de diálogo y intercambio, que espero enriquezcan no solo nuestra investigación, sino también nuestro sentido de comunidad internacional, que últimamente se está volviendo cada vez más vulnerable. Muchas gracias a todos.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Alessandra, for... I have mine. Here we go. And that's... Okay, here we go. And, well, thank you, Alessandra, for these welcome words to all the audience. And now we have to, well, make this presentation a bit shorter because of the time. And it's going to be now our colleague Luis Gonzaga, Roger Castillo, who is the network chair of this conference. And he's also professor at the University of Jaén in Spain. Ahora será el profesor Roger Castillo quien nos dará la bienvenida también y como presidente de la red en inglés y en español de la Universidad de Jaén. Muchísimas gracias.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to welcome you one more time to the 15th International Conference on Religion and Spirituality in Society. This research network of religion and society has a primary objective, that is, academical collaboration, both through the publication of the network's journal and books, and by facilitating contact between researchers and educators from around the world. This facilitates a flow of knowledge that encompasses all the multifaceted aspects of a phenomenon as complex as religion, which resists being confined to a single speciality. The special focus of this year is fragile meanings, vulnerability in the study of religion and spirituality. This special focus, which we established 2 years ago, has proved, let me say, prophetic. The current situation of the world makes us acutely aware of vulnerability. This vulnerability today runs from the institutional to the individual, so that to a greater extent or lesser extent, each one of us can experience it. Since every academic discipline has something to say about the world, over the course of these 2 days, we will look at what religious studies has to say about world's vulnerability. Also, this year we have fulfilled the long-standing wish of this research network to hold the conference in Rome, the Eternal City, which needs no further comment. And we are fulfilling this wish in the best place possible, the University of La Sapienza, founded in the 14th century, which is one of the oldest universities in the world and the largest in-person university in Europe. It has been the alma mater of countless important figures from all disciplines. Scientists such as Copernicus and Torricelli, world-famous writers such as D'Annunzio and Pirandello, film directors such as Bertolucci and Fellini, 10 Nobel Prize winners, including Marconi and Fermi, and of course, wonderful scholars of religion, such as the comparatist Angelo de Gubernatis or the Orientalist Giuseppe Tucci. I would like to thank the professor Alessandro Vitullo and Alessandro Saggioro. Without whose invaluable collaboration, it would not be possible to hold the conference here. Last but not least, none of this could be possible without the member of the network and the attendant and participants in this conference. I hope to have the opportunity to greet you personally during these days. You are the real protagonist here. Thank you very much. Es un placer darles la bienvenida al 15º Congreso Internacional de Religión y Espiritualidad en la Sociedad, que este año, como resultado obvio, se celebra en la Sapienza, Università di Roma. La red de investigación de religión y espiritualidad en la sociedad tiene como objetivo principal la colaboración académica, tanto por la publicación de la revista como por la publicación de los libros, y facilitando poner en contacto a investigadores y docentes de todo el mundo para desvelar así las poliédricas facetas de un fenómeno tan complejo como son los estudios religiosos. El enfoque especial de este año es significados frágiles, la vulnerabilidad en el estudio de las religiones y la espiritualidad. Hace más de 2 años que fijamos este Special Focus y con el tiempo se ha probado profético. La vulnerabilidad del mundo en la actualidad hace muy fácil que cada uno de nosotros pueda tomar conciencia y experimentar en mayor o en menor grado este sentimiento de vulnerabilidad que recorre todas las instituciones desde lo local hasta lo global. También este año la red cumple un viejo sueño, que es celebrar la conferencia en Roma, ciudad eterna, lo cual no necesita mayor comentario. Y además lo hacemos en el mejor sitio posible, en la Università de La Sapienza, que es una de las universidades más antiguas de Europa y la mayor universidad de Europa presencial, fundada desde el siglo XIV y que ha sido alma mater de incontables personalidades de todas las disciplinas, científicos como Copérnico y Torricelli, escritores de fama mundial como D'Annunzio o Pirandello, directores de cine como Bertolucci o como Fellini, 10 premios Nobel, incluyendo a Marconi y Fermi, y por supuesto eruditos de las religiones como el comparatista Angelo de Gubernatis o el orientalista Giuseppe Tucci. Finalmente, quisiera dar las gracias a los profesores Alessandra Vitullo y Alessandro Saggioro, sin cuya inestimable colaboración no sería posible realizar la conferencia aquí. Y por último, pero no por ello menos en orden de importancia, a todos los miembros de la red de investigación y a todos los ponentes y asistentes a la conferencia, que son los verdaderos protagonistas aquí. Muchas gracias.
Okay, so we are like 5 minutes late. I'm going to be, concise. Thank again to the members of the board, to the SARAS department, to the University of Sapienza. Just want to tell you that my name is José Ortega. I'm a professor at the University of Granada, but I'm also the scientific director of Common Ground. And today I'm on behalf of the Common Ground and welcome you again to this conference. We organize around 24 annual conferences around the world with over 20,000 articles published by now, which I recommend you to take a look at, and not to all of them. And we have, more than 3,000 delegates by now. As I said, the program that you have for these days is here. You can check the program in both Spanish and English in this QR code. And just for you to know, we have 270 registered participants in this conference, from which 80 are online, 190 in person, and 160 in English and 30 in Spanish. And more than 50 countries involved, which is a very nice number for these type of conferences that go from, I have a long list here, but you will understand that, from Argentina to the United States. And all the names are there, like Iran, we have Italy, Latvia, Czech Republic, Spain, and so on. Well, there have been some changes in the rooms because I was talking to Tatiana, and now all the rooms have air conditioning systems, so you have to take a look at this before going to any of the sessions, okay? Just to make sure the room number. The conference dinner is today at the Casa dell'Aviatore. It's next to the campus, and you can still register at the registration desk. There are some last spots left. And, you can also, during 1 year after the conference, you can submit your full paper to the International Journal of Religion and Spirituality in Society. As you know, is indexed in the Scopus in the SJR Q2, which is of high quality. And, welcome again to all of you, and now in Spanish. Simplemente decirles que muchas gracias por asistir. Mi nombre es José Luis Ortega, de la Universidad de Granada, soy director científico de Common Ground y pues tengo la suerte de poder presentar hoy a este panel de compañeros con los que hemos introducido la 15ª edición de este congreso. Common Ground lleva desde el año 84 organizando unas 24 conferencias anuales. Como he dicho, hay 50 nacionalidades diferentes entre los participantes, que es un número, pues la verdad que muy bueno para el éxito del Congreso. Y bueno, se han hecho algunas modificaciones en el programa que pueden comprobar en el código QR que tienen en la tarjeta con su identificación, y que cualquier cambio que haya pues se va haciendo de manera automática. Algunas aulas se han cambiado porque no tenían aire acondicionado y ahora ya sí las tienen todas, ¿no? También recordarles que pueden publicar su aportación, que pasará por una revisión por pares, evidentemente, en la revista de la conferencia que tenemos y que está indexada, como ya sabéis, como nos tienen siempre con este tipo de cosas, indexada en Scopus Q2. Y nada más, solamente pues que pasen 2 días muy buenos, que disfruten de la ciudad, de la universidad y del Congreso todo lo que pueda. So welcome again and enjoy the conference, enjoy the city and the university. And thank you to our hosts. Thank you very much.